You know, for a while now, I've been teasing the idea of potentially making a game. And I was thinking to myself, what if we made a game like Streets of Rage, but with strippers? Hey world, what's good? It's your boy LG, and I'm back with another video. And I'm going to talk to y'all about something that's kind of important to me. So be sure to drop a like if you're interested. You know, maybe comment your favorite game below. If you like beat 'em ups, comment your favorite game below. And also subscribe if you're new, all right? But in the meantime, in between time, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Where this idea came from, honestly, was me just playing a lot of video games. And like, I've been wanting to make video games for a while, right? And I like fighting games, you know what I'm saying? Tekken, Street Fighter, Killer Instinct, so on and so forth. I also like beat 'em ups. And I was actually contemplating on what to make first. And beat 'em ups actually seemed like the easier route, because in just doing some of my own research on fighting games and playing some myself, and you know, doing a little bit of minor competing, the level of work that goes into the balancing for fighting games is way out there. And I wanted to start with something a little bit more easier for me to grasp. And beat 'em ups are really similar to fighting games. They're just single player versions, right? So where you're fighting against a player, right, which is more so, I think the term is the technical term is symmetrical. You're doing asymmetrical, which is you're going against basically the computer and this, that, and the third, right? Or what the devs designed, right? So I figured that would be a little bit easier to do. And you know, who doesn't love a good co-op game, right? I wanted to make something like this, and I figured the best thing to do would be to incorporate the things that I'm doing right now. You guys see me do the Strip Club Chronicles. If you haven't checked it out, go do that. I also have a brand called the Dynasty Dymes, and I wanted to create something in that vein. And because when I see a lot of it, I see it in games, it's very surface level. It's very rare that you see them pass maybe like an enemy or two, maybe like a boss or something, a minor boss, if that. They're treated as mostly enemies. And I kind of wanted to flip that up a little bit, you know? Project Dymes is going to be a 2.5D beat 'em up where you fight through the city of Regalis, which is the city that I created in Texas, by the way, best state ever, duh, with a crew connected to Dragon's Den, a major nightlife club in the city. The game is going to be about protecting the club, the people around it, and the freedom of expression. There's going to be 3 major clubs. The main club that you're going to be player of is the Dragon's Den, which is the club of my creation, which, yes, I am going to be inserted in the game in some way because I own the club. Duh. Why not? It's going to be a self-insert. So what? It's my game. I'm gonna do what I want, okay? But yes, you're gonna be a part of my club, the Dragon's Den, and you're gonna be controlling a few dancers. One of which is Dynasty, which is based off of my character Dynasty for the which is the logo for my Dynasty Dymes brand. So I decided to, you know, give her a little bit of a story and kind of expound on that. So you're gonna be going against another club called Crimson Rain. Also, there's another club out there called Midnight Veil. Don't worry, we'll probably get into more of those clubs as time goes on. There's also a couple of other groups that might be involved, okay? An activist group, maybe even a church group. Who knows? To give you guys a glimpse of gameplay ideas, what I want, like I said, Streets of Rage is going to be one of my biggest influences here. Streets of Rage 4 in particular, because I personally believe that Streets of Rage 4 is the best beat 'em up mechanically of all the beat 'em ups that are, especially the modern beat 'em ups that are out there. It's one of the ones that I would highly recommend, and it because it's the closest to a fighting game, but single player. Does that make sense? There's a lot of things that I want to kind of put in my game that's kind of similar, you know, ground bounces, wall bounces, all that stuff. But I want it to be stylish. You know what I'm saying? I want some things in there that, that's going to be reflective of the clubs and stuff like that, right? I don't want this game to where you can mash buttons and just look cool. I want it to be flashy, sure, but I also want you to pay attention, okay? I want the enemies to not just be beat 'em up fodder, if you will. I guess we'll just put it like that for right now, right? I want the enemies to be able to push back. I want you to feel like you have to earn your spot in every stage. You get what I'm saying? So I want every chapter to have a purpose for existing. A little bit more about my city, Regalis. It is a fictional city based off of, nightlife, various nightlife mixed between San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, a little bit of Atlanta. So it's a little bit more of that Texas energy. And it's a very diverse city. The people in the city are surprisingly moderate, right? They're very understanding of different things. They're open to different things that, they respect the nightlife in the city. I don't want it just to be a backdrop. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be somewhat of a pressure cooker, if you will. The city is going to have clubs, churches, politicians, media-rich districts, working class areas, and different groups trying to decide the fate of the city. So that kind of goes into, like I said, the main characters. I mentioned to y'all about Dinah. That's going to be one of the characters, the playable characters. Of course, I'm going to have something in there. Once again, it's my story. I'm putting myself in it. Why not? I'm going to be the owner of the Dragon's Den Club. Okay, like I mentioned before, Dinah is going to be the head highlighted dancer of my club, and each club is going to have a highlighted dancer. So, something for y'all to note, right? But Dinah, she is going to be not only the face of Dragon's Den, but she's also a mentor and a protector, right? She's also helped me with the Dymes initiative, okay? And that's something that where we kind of like teach our girls. This is what makes us different. We teach our girls about how to be a part of the nightlife scene, how to protect themselves, how to navigate through the nightlife scene. And we also have gone out and done community work in the city, which is one of the reasons why we are so well respected. We also have another character here. Her name is Brickhouse Bree. Okay, that is her dancer name, Brickhouse Bree. And boy, she's one of them ones. She's from Houston, H-Town. And anybody that knows them girls from Houston, boy, they got a little shape on it, you feel me? And that's exactly one of the reasons why I hired her. She's a very heartwarming person, very dope as fuck though, very chill, but she's very protective of the girls as well. And that's one of the reasons why we hired her, because she's dope as fuck. She can dance, she can throw that ass, but at the same time, she will stand up and protect. And we love that about her, right? There's going to be more, of course, but you may have to stick around. Now, what I've learned, right? For those of y'all that don't know, obviously enough, I have no idea about game development. Well, I know a little bit. I know enough, like the basic terms, but actually making a game is the fun part. This is actually my first foray into making a game, specifically myself. And oh boy, I understand why games take so long to make. It's just so much that goes into it. Learning Unreal Engine, specifically, I think 5.6 is the one I'm learning right now. Learning about blueprints and how they work, C++, how different combat systems work, movement, visual references, and all of that stuff. Game dev is a is a whole different beast. You feel me? It's different from playing the games and stuff like that, and modding games. But creating your game is a whole different thing, right? It's a lot, So turning ideas into systems and stuff like that, and learning what systems I can make, That's the part that I'm trying to figure out as we speak. So, but I am going to say this. I am going to be looking for some help. I thought about doing solo dev, but I also think that it would be a better idea for me to get a group of people to help with this. Right. I'm looking for people who know their way around Unreal Engine 5, who's willing to take direction and apply it, and also give feedback when needed, because like I said, I'm open to, you know, ideas as long as it doesn't take away from my original vision. Who's willing to communicate, who's willing to do what they need to get done, and operate well within the engine. And also, who doesn't mind seeing sexy women in video games, because that's exactly what it's going to be. It's yes, okay, you're going to see ass and titties in this video game. I don't care, okay? But if you have no problem with that, I would love to have you. So hit me up if you're interested. But in the meantime, in between time, what I'm working on right now is I'm working on the Combat Bible right now, working on several Bibles, actually. Combat Bible, the story Bible, thinking of a visual style that I want, experimenting with character like move sets and things of that nature, stage concepts, you know, all of that, and even maybe some more devlogs. Who knows? I'm working on that right now. So there's a lot of things that I'm working on right now. I'm just doing what I can with the stuff that I'm learning. And also, since I already have some stuff now down, I'm going to be fleshing that out a little bit more, and I'll have some more for you guys as I progress along. But once again, if you guys are interested, if you know your way around Unreal Engine 5.6, I look forward to it. Anybody else that if you got like art, maybe some my producer friends, this could be an opportunity for you. You know what I'm saying? My producer homies, could be something for you. Who knows? But I look forward to seeing how this comes out, and this is gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be dope as fuck. And that's gonna be it for me for right now. And I look forward to seeing you on the next devlog. Peace and God bless.